Hello, we are the Stop Wearing My Clothes podcast. I'm Kayla. One podcast, two sisters. Episode 45, Bachelorette finale recap. You'll notice I am missing a sister, but we have an amazing guest co-host to take her place this week, Zachary Reality. Because Amy had her baby, so she is going to be on maternity leave throughout the Bachelor in Paradise season, but every week I'm going to have a new exciting guest co-host, and Amy's baby is beautiful, healthy. They named her Olivia Rochelle Neiman, and I put a picture up here, but Amy's gonna pop her head in a couple times. We're gonna meet the baby, and she will know all of her opinions still. So don't worry, you haven't seen the last of her. I don't have time because there's so much we got into with Zachary Reality. Like I can't even. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna dive in really quickly. So pop culture. I'm gonna say it in like 2 seconds. Blake Lively's pregnant. Taylor Swift announced her first track list for Midnights. Adam Levine is a hoe. Selena Gomez did her teaser for her new documentary that I cannot wait to watch called My Mind and I. The end. Make sure you follow us on TikTok for daily Bachelor news or reality TV news. And if you are a YouTube watcher, subscribe, comment, and like. And if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review. Let's get into it. Well, hello, Zachary Reality. I am so excited to have you on. I can't even.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here, especially because we met at the Bachelor Live on Stage a few months ago, which was so fun. That was like such a moment and like a moment of time that we like shared together.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I remember most of it. I had a few drinks. By the time I got to my seat, like I have some pictures I don't even remember taking, but it was that's when you know it's a good night, right?
Oh my God, I was so drunk. I feel like you know how drunk I was at that night. Like honestly, like I mean to spill my own tea, like I totally made out with like a guy like that night. Like I like a random guy. Like honestly, like I was
maybe I'm your good luck charm. We'll go out again and then you'll
I'm down. But like I'm saying, like that was a really messy night, but it was so fun. Like it kind of disappointed me a little bit, like some of the show, just because it was just like, oh, okay. Like the show wasn't super, it had highs and lows. But yes, I think it was just like fun to like meet like some other Bachelor fans.
100%. I had a fun like drunk bathroom girl moment with Kate from Clayton's season. She's gonna be on Bachelor in Paradise too. So I have a little selfie. And then just Thomas, like I didn't talk to him. He is a tall drink of water. Like he's just so big, and like I see what Becca sees in him.
We had a good crew. It was a good crew of Bachelor Nation too at this live show. It was in April. We had James being the what is it? Like the Bachelor? Oh yeah, duh. Yeah. So James was the Bachelor and then Becca was the host. And basically we had Thomas was there, Genevieve and Kate were there because this is in like downtown LA. Mm-hmm. And then Kendall was there with her new boyfriend. And like I was excited to meet Kendall because I had so many preconceived notions about her from Paradise with Grocery Store Joe. So I was just like, I was just so excited to meet her and like have a good impression of her again. You know what I'm saying? Like she did not come across good on the show, but meeting her, I was like, she is a queen. She's so sweet. She's so kind. Yes, I didn't get the opportunity to meet her, but I met Genevieve, and then I was too scared to talk to Thomas because I kind of would just want him to pick me up. Would that be a weird request for me to ask? How tall are you? I'm 5'3". I'm little. Well, Thomas is like 6'5". I feel like he would. I feel like he totally would. Maybe next time. I'll shoot my shot next time. You honestly should have. I found him, and then he brought me upstairs to the VIP. So, like we separated ways too soon. He got me in. He got me in. Very cool. Well, yeah, that was a really fun night. I'm so glad we got to meet. And so it makes this a little easier. So we could just chat about, we're going to do the Bachelorette recap together. But I also I want to learn more about you. And I know probably your listeners, everyone who watches The Bachelor knows who Zachary Reality is. And so let's just learn more about you. I know. Do you think I'm mysterious? A little. Yeah, because I don't think you hit too much on personal stuff on your TikTok. I feel like if you ever listen to me on like a live or something, you know how personable I am, but it's just because I make so much content covering all the news. So it's kind of hard to do more personal content, but I'm really making an effort to kind of merge that.
Yeah. I love jumping on your lives, but anytime when I feel like, because we're a spoiler-free podcast, so I try my very best not to get spoiled. So anytime I feel like, oh wait, he might spoil, okay, then I jump
Well,
off. But I always
I
try to like send you
know.
a little comment.
The thing is, I think I just know too much tea for my own good. Like, I drip in
Sure.
tea, like constant tea all the time from
I
every
love it.
show, all avenues. So it's just like, I don't even know what's going to come out of my mouth because I just like know everything.
Yes, I love it. I'm so excited to get some tea today. And just a little
Yeah.
bit about the podcast. So, number one, we
Mm-hmm.
do not take our two selves too seriously. We like to
Okay.
laugh, we joke around. I kind of consider a comedy podcast. Maybe that's just my dream is stand up
That's
comedian. One day I
fun.
want to do it. One day, not today, but soon.
I
And then
love that.
also, yeah. So we post on YouTube, right? So I click the little explicit button and even on Apple Podcasts. So feel free to cuss, do what you want. Like it's only I really carry that because Amy's too good at this. And Amy, she's my sister and you normally
Mm-hmm.
podcast. You are guest co-hosting for her. And she's a goody two shoe. She doesn't really say any of the words. So I hold it on my own. So I need your help. So feel
Oh,
free.
okay.
Feel
Yeah, and
free.
I also didn't meet Amy at the live show. So disclaimer, like she wasn't there.
Yes.
So I still have to meet her. So you'll have to invite me
Yes.
back after.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, she's in Washington and I'm here in LA, so we're closer together. But 100%, we'll have to do a bachelor recap with her here one day.
Okay, I
My
can't
third
wait.
is spoiler free, so you knew that. But I kind of wanted to go into promoting this podcast. I was like, Zachary Reality, Spoiler King. I kept saying it, just kind of kept coming out of my mouth. How do you feel about the Spoiler King title, or do you think it represents kind of your platform?
No, I am not the spoiler king. I don't think I
Okay.
am at all. I think that you can say I'm the spoiler queen, but
Okay, I love that so much better. You're right.
I honestly don't think that my brand or my videos are really like all spoilers. Like I think spoiling is just like a part of everything I do. I do like
Sure.
commentary, recaps, spark notes. Like I think spoiler is just one of the 10 different like subjects of content I make. So I would not call myself that, but I would maybe say like reality TV guru or reality TV
Okay.
queen, like something more like broader.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I actually, whenever anyone says like we do spoilers on like a bio, I don't normally follow, but I follow you because I just have to because your
Yeah.
content is so good.
Yay.
But I guess kind of my question is getting when you got into kind of reality TV commentating, have you always been someone who like looks at the end of a book or like goes to the last episode, or did that kind of come with the territory? I think you kind of touched on that.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of both. I kind of love a good tease. I feel like maybe that kind
Who
of like brings me
doesn't?
back to childhood. But I don't know. I'm also like a really big like start to finish person. I think that as my Bachelor audience grew more and more on TikTok, it almost became like in my face, like all of the spoilers. Like
It's
everyone wants
so
to tell
hard to
me
dodge.
something. The contestants tell me things all the time. And I feel like people just want me to know the truth about things so that I can explain it in a proper and fair way because I do have such a voice on TikTok. And
Yeah,
that's really taken me a long time to grow this platform. And I have everyone's best interest in mind, even the people I don't like. And I always try and find like
100%.
the neutrality and the fairness in every single video I make. And I don't want to ever disrespect the network and say too much because obviously there are some things going on behind the scenes that are really messed up. We've seen a lot of people call out producers. I don't really call out producers. I could, but I don't because I try
That's
and
true.
respect the network. Try and respect the cast, and I try and respect the fans. I need to tell you guys the tea. You guys need to know the tea.
Yes, people ask for it and you provide.
I always
Yes,
provide.
yes, 100%. I guess just with me, the end of like The Bachelor or those like ending points, I love not knowing. It's like almost like Christmas morning. I'm going straight from like sex to Christmas, but like orgasmic, like that
Uh huh.
moment of just like, I don't know what's going to happen. Something, I don't know. I love just being in that bubble. And I
No, I
think it
agree. I
started.
agree. But for other shows, I am like that, but just not for The Bachelor,
Gotcha. You probably got desensitized to it a little bit with
for
all kind of
sure.
being thrown at you. Because I remember when I
Yeah.
was like in elementary school, I watched American Idol. I went on American Idol tour. I was a total nerd.
Ooh.
And my friend, I hadn't watched the show where it does whoever gets sent home, told me who it was. I did not talk to them for a week. I
No, I get
cried.
it. I get
Like
it.
I've
So
been this way since I can
can I
remember.
ask you something?
Please, I'm an open book.
Have I ever spoiled a show for you or something for you on my TikTok that you were pissed at me about?
I wasn't pissed at you, but more of myself of knowing I just have to be careful navigating, especially on your thing. So I actually found out about Zach through your TikTok
About
because
him being
I
the
was
Bachelor.
yes, and at that
Ooh.
point, I think like Us Weekly touched it, and then like Variety, so it like became like Reality Steve spoiled it, but then it like became this bigger thing that like
Uh-huh.
almost I didn't count it as a spoiler anymore. But
Yeah.
you did spoil that most recently. But
Ooh.
I was still holding hope till the very last second because
Who did
I
you
don't
want?
dislike Zach. Ethan, Justin
Yeah.
Glaze, Avon, any
Aven.
of Katie's boys, Andrew Spencer. I know Michael, both of them, Michael A. Just they're all Bachelor in Paradise, so like it depends if they're single or not. But
Yeah.
I just think there are so many better choices.
There really was.
When was the last time that you were like super surprised, blown away about a reality TV moment?
Ooh, that's a great question. That is a question that I wish. Maybe you told me you were going to ask me this earlier, but that is a question that I wish I had time to prepare for, and that's probably
Sure,
on me because
no
I feel
worries.
like that is such a good question. Um, Wait, ask it one more time
Of
in
course.
like a
All right.
sexy way, in a funny way, however you want. This is your moment.
When was the last time that you were
Ooh,
shocked at a reality TV moment? You've watched so many. Tell me, I need to know. Was that
that
good
is
enough for you?
no, I loved it. I loved it. That's a great. It's great. It's so great. Wow. Do you have one?
Honestly, it's been a while since I've jumped out of my seat, but last night when Avon got called up on stage at AFR, like I wasn't wearing a bra and I was wearing a crop top, so like when
Uh
I jumped up,
huh.
my boob popped out. I was jumping up and down. I was in shock, and
Well, I got that spoiled. Reality Steve
did
tweeted
you?
that, and then people sent it to me, so I knew he was going, and I was pissed because I love that you can be unspoiled. It's better for me to know everything for what I'm trying to do,
I
but
get
it's
it.
like it ruins the show because it makes me so desensitized, as you said, and that's why I'm like having trouble coming up with something right now because I'm watching so many TV so I can break it down and less for enjoyment. And I'm really trying to figure out how to find a balance, which is why I kind of mentioned about shifting more to personal content because the fact that I can't even think of anything is sad.
Yeah, I mean it's so much work what you do and I've only like really stepped my toe in it.
Yeah.
And I think people really don't realize how much work it goes, how much content is thrown at us and to recap everything, to be on top of all the dramas. Like it's not just like a cakewalk. And then also separating that and you started this probably because you love reality television, right? You live for those
Hmm.
moments. And so getting the joy out of that a little bit, I've also had to kind of figure that out and how I can still make authentic content that makes me happy, but was
Hmm.
still giving the people what they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I've learned in this whole thing is that I didn't start this because I love reality TV. I
Really?
started this because my dream is to be a host, a journalist, a reporter, on the carpets, going to events and interviewing people and then hosting shows. That's my dream. The only reason I started this TikTok was because the pandemic happened and the studio I was working at, where I got my first on camera gig, got shut down. And then I realized there was just so much more power in creating content on my own pages, being my own boss versus like trying to get a job somewhere else and not having control. So that's kind of why I started this, in hopes to get somewhere else and bigger. Like I'm tired
Yeah.
of I'm honestly a little bit tired of like staying home talking about the shows. I want to be at the shows.
Sure, sure. Because like have you applied to be on reality television?
Well, I meant like be at the shows as in like interview and stuff, but I have applied to a
Oh,
couple
gotcha.
shows. I applied to Big Brother. I was in casting for that for like maybe an interview. The Circle, I was in like a few different castings for that, like a
Oh,
few
you would have
rounds.
been great with that.
There is one other show I was in casting for earlier this year, and I actually
Uh-huh.
made it to like the final round. But I honestly don't think that I can even say what it is because I was like
Gotcha.
earlier this year. So like I was like, I almost made it. But I don't really like whatever happens, happens. Like I'm really just going with the flow.
Yeah, no, totally. So, are you single? Are you
Yes.
dating?
Oh my God. Ah,
You said to ask you anything. I'm
I
going for it,
did.
man.
Okay. Okay. Listen, I gave you a whole hour. Like you can literally do your thing. Um, wow. I am single.
All right. And
I'm not
kind of
dating.
You're not dating. Is that a specific choice, and why is that?
I think it's just like not happening for me right now. Like I don't have energy to use the apps and put genuine effort into it because I'm, working all the time. My career is my main priority. I have a very I know what I want. I'm not willing to settle.
That's important.
I don't really like go out and look. I haven't, at least not recently, the past few months, I haven't really gone out like to bars to like
Okay.
look for people. I kind
Sure.
of just been like hanging out with friends and like doing some traveling. So it's just like, and I don't leave the house during the week or unless it's for an event. So it just like hasn't
Sure.
really happened. I think my life is just so caught up in like what I'm doing that it just hasn't, come and transpired. It's not that I don't want it because I do. It just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think that you watch a lot of dating shows, right? Does that make you more cynical? Does it, or the opposite? Like, do you think that's affected the way you look at love or relationships?
I think I'm a hopeless romantic at heart. I
Okay, I
always will
love that.
be.
Me too.
That's what I loved about The Bachelor, and that's why I get so frustrated at these fake proposals now because it just like I miss the Sean and Catherine days. Like seeing them last night was so hard. It was like so
Sure.
nostalgic. But I
Mhm.
think it's just made me more hopeful. I think maybe I could watch a couple less shows so I have more time and they put an effort into it. But I want to meet someone like organically. I want to meet someone through a friend of a friend where it just happens. I want to meet someone in the industry at an event. It could be like a cute couple.
Yeah.
Like whatever,
Yeah,
just
and
someone
I
who's
think that you aren't looking.
established.
Don't people say like that's when it happens, right? You never
Yeah.
know.
But you would
Would
think that I
you
would like meet someone by now, maybe. I don't know. I'm 25.
Oh, you're so young still. I mean, saying from I got married at 22. I'm total hypocrite,
Wow.
but I like tell people to wait as long as you can. And I'm in a happy marriage, thankfully. We've been together 11 years, but like
Cool.
if I had a daughter and she's like I'm getting married at 22, I'd probably lock her in a room. I'm a total hypocrite. I
Yeah.
but
I feel
um
like I have so much time. So that's also why I'm not like looking as hard right now.
100%. And do you think you would ever date a reality star?
For sure. I mean,
Has
that's not
anyone
like,
ever slid into your DMs?
well, first of all, that's definitely not my goal, but like if
Sure,
meeting,
sure.
I want to date someone in the industry. So whatever you are in the industry, a producer, a fashion, whatever, director, actor, reality star, host, I just want to date someone in the industry. So it like makes sense.
Love that.
But no, I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think in the
No.
bachelor world, there's like just the one gay bachelor.
And he already, and he
But
got, he got, swooped up like within a year.
he worked fast.
He worked
Um,
fast. Well, honestly, my DMs are pretty dry
yeah.
with
I
like
just get
men.
a bunch of just sugar daddy things all the time. It's just no one wants that.
Yeah, I don't even get those. Maybe like a few random
Good.
guys, but no one that I can think of from reality TV. But I'm sure I've made out with like someone from reality TV once, like another show
Yeah.
randomly. Because like sometimes I get drunk and make out with random people at bars.
Any
Isn't that
name
the point?
drops?
No, there's no name drops because I can't even think of anyone. Like I never remember these guys' names.
Amazing.
I'm just like drunk and it's like 2 a.m. Like we've
They
all been
remember
there.
you, but you just don't need to remember
Maybe
them.
they do. I don't know.
All right, let's move because we're gonna do the Bachelor recap, but I want to talk a little bit about Bachelor in Paradise because I
Okay.
know nothing. I've worked hard to know nothing, but
Wow.
I know you know a lot. So I guess my question is, who are you, knowing kind of what you know, who are you most excited to watch on Bachelor in Paradise?
Well, I'm just really excited for a few people. So I'm excited for
Okay.
Genevieve and Aaron. I think that it's going to be a very fun relationship to kind of watch. I'm excited for
Yeah, because I mean, they
Shanae.
started on AFR, right?
Yeah, and I honestly think that they might get crap from some viewers, kind of like for maybe doing a Brendan and Piper, but I just think that this is different because at least
Mm,
they kind of like owned it at AFR showing up together, where it was just like, okay. And maybe
yeah,
that's
more
what the
open about
producers
it.
did. Maybe that's what the producers did on purpose. They're like, wait, we see where we backfired on Brendan and Piper. We should just like since Genevieve and Aaron already know each other off of the TV show, we
That
have to
makes
put
so
them
much
together
sense.
on the TV show. So
Yes,
I'm excited to kind of just see that relationship because I'm already invested and I think they're going to be one of the hottest couples. And then I'm excited for
agreed.
Shanae. I'm
I
excited to
am
see
so excited.
Logan and Kira. Those are a couple of people I talk to sometimes. So just like
Gotcha.
I'm excited to see Kate. I'm excited to see Hayden. There's a lot of people I'm
I'm
looking
very
forward to seeing.
interested to see Hayden and if he's gonna have kind of like a redemption because I mean he didn't even show up to Men Tell All. So I mean he's definitely starting on the beach with needing to kind of prove himself to the audience because there's not many people who like him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when he shows up. I mean, this is a non-spoiler podcast. So
That's true. That's true.
I mean,
so I appreciate you respecting it.
Yeah.
I guess without telling me anything, say one word that describes what we're in for Bachelor in Paradise.
One word. I mean, I think like messy, chaotic, dramatic,
Love.
produced. But I would think the overall word would be vibrator. I think that's a word that's going to sum up the season.
Good. I love that. Everyone should have a vibrator.
That's the spirit.
I don't think everyone should. I don't care if you're married, dating, single.
I mean, I'm with it.
If this Bachelorette season, what would you rate it from 1 to 10?
Ooh,
I'm curious, like, what you think.
I know. I feel like we need like a list of like the past time. What season was this? 19?
19, yeah.
Ooh, I definitely would put it like in the like probably like a 7. Probably the 7th best season.
7th best. Okay. Like, so did you like the double leads?
I liked it for a lot of reasons. Then I ended up not liking it towards the end because it just got too exhausting and complicated to keep up with both love stories. But I thought it was really fun in the beginning, especially for like promo, like the 2 hot girls, one's blonde, one's brunette, like their friendship. And I liked it more in the beginning. Once it got so complicated and it was separate journeys, I was like, they need to just put this on 2 different nights.
Yeah, that's so funny because mine's the opposite. I like started it like really not liking it. I hated that everyone was so wishy-washy. And then once they finally separated, I was like, okay, I can breathe. Like, let me just like focus on who's there for who. But I guess my one complaint would be is like, especially with Gabby, I'm a huge Gabby fan. I'm trying to make hashtag Gabby's dingbats happen. We'll see if it works.
I love that.
Yes. And I was just really disappointed because I wanted her really as Bachelorette. I like Rachel too, but I was so excited to be also a fan of the person she ends up with and be able to root for them, see their love story. And it's just been so messy that like I could see like I see the love there in Gabby and Eric, but I just don't feel a part of it. You know what I mean? It's
my God,
separate.
I love that. Oh my God, why do I sound like that? Oh my God. But like, I agree. I'm like sounding like Teresa Giudice if you guys like Jersey Housewives.
Love it.
Literally, I agree so much. That is so true. Like, I think this is honestly the first time ever where I don't feel connected to the couple at all, but I do feel connected to Gabby and Rachel's friendship. And I think that is the point. That's what the whole point was of this season is if you want to be positive and look at the brighter picture, I feel like that's why they did the girl power on the People magazine because none of these guys were worth that cover shoot. Like they had each other through and through. And like now I'm like getting emotional, but it's like, that's the truth. Like Eric didn't deserve that People shoot like Rachel and Gabby did because they did this season together.
I 100% agree. It would have been so easy, whether it be producers or just like your own ego, to go against each other in this situation. It's almost like a breeding ground for that. So the fact that they never ever said a bad word about each other, never butted heads really ever,
which we all wanted. Some of us wanted it. I wanted I wanted one fight, just one girl fight.
I know. This is where I have unpopular opinions because I just love the messiness so much. Like people who are on Tino's side right now because of Avon going on AFR and that whole situation, I don't understand. It was one of the most amazing moments in reality television history. Tino manipulated, and this is my opinion, manipulated her throughout the entire season. I've called it since the episode where Logan switched teams and she canceled the date and Tino flipped it on her and like made her say sorry even though she's the one who had the really bad day.
Yeah.
And I think there was so many red flags just like being thrown at Rachel with Tino. But once he got out of that tractor, she's into Farmer Boys or something. But yeah, he stepped out of that tractor and she saw nothing but just his beautiful face. People think he looks like Tyler Cameron. I don't really see. I was never actually a fan of Tino.
I thought he was like good looking at first. I actually really liked him the first few episodes. He was viewing my Instagram stories like pretty early on. And like I checked that. Like, and it was just like, and it made me like him that knowing that he's like checking up on me and like doesn't have to use a fake account because I have so many fake accounts that like view my story. Oh my God, it's insane. Like half of them are fake accounts. So I don't know if someone's like checking up on what I'm saying that like low key is like, okay, they like care what I have to say. And then it makes me like like them in a way. Is that, or you know what I'm saying? If they interact with me in any
No,
way.
totally. Yeah, no, 100%. What happened with Rachel and Tino, I think there's a lot we don't know, but they did allude to the fact in like the premiere in those first couple weeks where you said Tino was watching your stories. Do you think maybe some of the things that on your videos like started fights with him and Rachel, or like they said that definitely all the press and all of everything that comes with being the Bachelor really were rough on them. Do you
Are
think
you
like that
blaming
was
me
part of
for the breakup of Rachel and Tino?
Not you specifically, no.
I think my videos just like sum up the general opinion. I think I like to say
Yeah,
neutral and fair, which we kind of talked about, and like just give the recap. I'm giving the spark notes. So I never like, I haven't shaded any of them like all season for the, like maybe a couple
oh
times,
god,
like
no.
light
Oh,
shade, but like
I
my
do.
stuff is so positive, like for real. Like if you see my stuff, it always is positive. I gave Tino the benefit of the doubt all season. I never like came for him until last night. I tweeted like, I wish I'd take it back, just because I really thought he fucked over Rachel.
I personally don't believe Tino wanted to marry her ever. I think the whole time it was a game. He I just I have
I just
not
think he wasn't
one
thinking
good
straight.
thing.
I think he's a nice guy. I just think he's immature. And I think he just doesn't know what he wants. And I think that he maybe gets a little sheltered by his parents and like a little babied. So I
I
just
think
don't
so
know if
too.
he's like a real man that knows how to take accountability. And I think that he totally like led Rachel on. And I think Rachel's also just really like immature. And I don't know if she was ready. Well, I know Rachel's ready. She's such a hopeless romantic, but I think she just doesn't know what she wants
Mhm.
yet. I think she needs to just like grow for a few more years before she's ready to get like engaged and married. I know she wants to find love, and that's why I love about Rachel is like she's so relatable and
Me
like
too.
she wears her heart on her sleeve and she's so emotional. But she totally got caught up with Tino, and I'm not surprised that it exploded right after the show because that show is exhausting and like you get caught up in it and you don't get to think for yourself because you have these producers and then you want to like put on this dream proposal for everybody. So of course it's going to like completely shatter right after if they don't have a strong foundation.
Yeah, no, very well said. Just Rachel and Tino were just exhausting. Very well said though. Let's
Yeah.
see here. Oh, I want to before we fully get into the recap, even though we're kind of talking about it anyway. I want to know kind of your platform, your brand. You said your goals are to be a host. So maybe this, I don't know if you want to elaborate on that, but where do you see Zachary Reality in 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, I always thought that I would like get a hosting job at like Us Weekly or E News or even like Page Six or iHeart and like kind of just like work events with them. So maybe one
Hmm.
of the bigger outlets could just like pick me up and just like send me to carpets and events around LA, around the world. I want to go to all the award shows. So that's kind of like the goal. And then obviously, like, I can also maybe pitch myself as Zachary Reality and just kind of get like a team behind me, and just have my own outlet, kind of like Perez Hilton,
Yeah,
has done or other people have done. So it really kind of just depends on
kind of what opportunities open
the
themselves up to you.
opportunities and what is meant to happen. And I think we can also do both. I think I can. So that's kind of like the hosting goal. When I get older, reality TV reunions, like that's the goal.
Oh, like do you want to be like Andy Cohen?
Like Andy Cohen or like how Rachel Lindsay
Someone needs to replace him.
she hosted like the Siesta Key reunion on MTV, and then like some
Mm.
people host Netflix shows reunions. So just like stuff like that, daytime talk, just like a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you would be so great at that. And I think it's like the cool thing about like you growing this platform on social media is like this is just the start and there's so many different avenues and opportunities are going to open up for you and I cannot wait to watch and I'll be a fan till the end.
That means so much. And I'll bring you up with me. I'm going to bring you around. I loved
Ooh.
like going to the
Oh, I
show with
love it.
you.
Yes, it was fun. It was like I remember us walking into the show and there's like producers on the side and you were like, I don't know, remember the names, but you're like, hey Tiffany, hey Carol, like you like know the names. I'm
Yeah.
like, who am
Well,
I with?
they know me because they watch me, but like they're not on camera, so I can't remember all them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I love it. All right. So we're going to get into the nitty gritty of the Bachelorette finale. And I always like to start kind of on a more fun part because I am a huge fashion girl. I went to school for fashion and I want to talk about the AFR dresses as well as the final rose ceremony. Um,
Ooh.
yes. Do you have any, like, what are your initial thoughts? Did anything stand out to you?
Well, I loved Rachel after the final rose with like the red dress. I really like
Red
when
and pink are her colors.
colors. I love when Rachel wears like bright colors. I think it really shines. Obviously, like there was that whole drama. I meant to make a TikTok about this, about like the Carrie, like their stylist, like calling Rachel mother of the bride and like Gabby, like something else. I meant to make a video about that. Maybe it's not too late, but like I did kind of feel like Gabby was overall like better dressed throughout the season.
Yes, it got better towards the end. I have to say, one where I think it happened on the finale and it was the worst of the season was her and Tino's date right before the proposal. She was wearing this like crazy like jacket with these like gold ribbons, and it was rough. I'll have a picture up on the YouTube version so you guys could see what I'm talking about. That was really rough, but she made up for it in that AFR dress. I loved it. And just Gabby just looking sexy as always with like the little cut. Like Gabby, I think might be the best like fashion girl bachelorette that there's ever been. Do you
I
think
still
anyone's
think that
beat
goes
her?
to Tayshia. I think Tayshia.
She's good. Yeah, she's definitely in the top 3 for me. That's a good one. And then I guess, oh, I did want to talk about the final rose ceremony. Rachel's was fine. It was very pretty. Gabby's, I personally think, is the best of all final rose ceremony dresses. I keep saying that with Gabby, but I'm just like low key obsessed with her and want to marry her.
I love that. I mean, like, I need to like look at it. Oh my god, Gabby's was so pretty with like the floral, and I loved her
I
hair.
haven't. Yes, and I haven't seen one like that. I just thought hers was very unique and less like kind of pageanty, which it can get sometimes for the final rose.
See,
But
Gabby's just like so good at hair and makeup, and like she's always so put together and like perfect, and like she's just such a Barbie doll.
yes, yes, and the personality, how she makes me laugh. Like I would have gone on The Bachelorette if they would have let me while she was the lead.
I'm so
Um,
excited to get to know her better on Dancing with the Stars, to be completely
Me
honest. Like, I
too.
can't wait to
40.
see her, like, the different side of her. Like, no offense, but like her without Rachel. Like, just to get to know Gabby as Gabby.
Yeah, and I also love the partnership with her and Val. So far, I think they really complement each other.
See, that's my issue. I actually don't know. I don't know if I like that. I'm just kind of over Val. I feel like he's just like the
Really?
same hot guy dancer every year. He just like, I remember last year he was saying like, I can't wait to leave. I might leave. Like, and it was just like, he's just always the center of attention, like every
Gotcha.
season. And I just like wish that Gabby was with like someone else that's just like more nonchalant so that she could be the center of attention.
I like that. That makes sense. I guess I like more of the OGs. So I actually haven't watched Dancing with the Stars in a couple seasons. I'm coming back specifically for Gabby and also just
Ooh,
all-star cast. I love Teresa. I love Vinny.
me
Like the
too.
reality stars are like on another level on
There's
Dancing
a
with the
good
Stars.
cast. I'm also like kind of here for Charlie and Heidi. I was hesitant at first, but like after watching it, I was like,
Mhm.
oh my God, when she danced to Savage, I was like, yes,
It
I
was
was
great.
on TikTok in 2022. Like I remember her old school videos, like, you know, whether she's like 18 or not. And like she is an icon. So I like seeing her, Teresa, Vinny, Jesse, James Decker, even like Wayne Brady, Shangela. Like it's a really good cast.
I cannot wait till she jumps out of a box. She has to in one of the
Well,
dances, right?
she totally will. Everyone's gonna do like their iconic thing, like Teresa flipping a table. I'm like, fuck yeah, she did. And then I can't wait for
Yes.
Gabby to like, maybe she can do like a rose ceremony type dance. Do they ever do that?
She's gotta do something. I'm sure she will. I didn't really get the whole swan situation she did in her dance, but it was cute.
Yeah,
She killed
yeah.
it. I think she got all 7, so I think she's in for the long haul. I mean, bachelorettes definitely have a very good track record when it comes to Dancing with the Stars.
I think she's in
So
it for the long haul too, but I don't, and maybe she'll win. Like I have no idea. I haven't been
good.
watching the show long enough to like fully predict it, but I can see her going far, especially because she lives in Los Angeles. And like, I don't think that like I think this is where she wants to be. I think that some of the other celebrities on the show have other obligations in like Atlanta or New York where they can't stay in Los Angeles for the
Mhm.
whole duration of filming. So I've always kind of thought there was a little bit of rigging going into the competition because these celebrities have careers. They can't, it's a really busy, you know, job.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I think she's only gonna get better, and I'm just so excited. And I can't like just her little interview moments. Like I don't know if you saw with Alfonso, like
Hmm.
Val like wipes her armpits, and then she's just like more of a technical dancer. Like my impression's terrible, but you know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
just makes me smile, and I'm just so excited that I don't have to say bye to her yet, 'cause she's gonna be on our screens for a little bit longer.
That's how I feel, and she's really funny, which I think is great, so, I think this season we'll get to see the more emotional side of her, not, like, the side where she's, like,
Mhm.
crying about, like, her mom, but, like, I wanna see more of, like,
Yeah.
her Eric side, and then more of just, like, her, like, insecurities as, like, a girl, if she has any. Like, I don't know, just, like, I wanna see, like, a little bit more of a relatable side to her on Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, I love that, and some more iconic fashion moments, but with, like, a little ballroom
Yeah, she
flair.
looks so good in that pink dress.
So good. All right, so Rachel and Tino, do you have any tea for me? Because I feel
Okay.
like there's a lot of things alluded. We talked already a little bit about how I feel about Rachel and Tino, but do you have anything for me? Because I just,
Let me
like, I'm at a
think.
loss.
No, I know. Well, I did listen to Tino's dad on a podcast this morning.
Ooh, talk to me about that.
And basically, this is the juiciest thing I heard from the podcast.
Okay.
I need to plug the podcast though, because they did such a good job. Honestly, unfiltered podcast.
Cool, we'll put it up on on the YouTube video too.
They were the only one to get Tino's dad, which I thought is kind of iconic because apparently, like, they told me that Tino's dad had a couple offers, but that's the one he chose to go on because their approach or whatever. And they also said
Mhm.
that Tino's mom was there at After the Final Rose. I don't know if he has like another sibling, but he had a couple people there to support him. But they all agreed as a family that Tino's dad would sit this one out so that it didn't take away from like what Tino had to handle with Rachel.
Yeah, I feel like that probably would have been a little distracting, like a whole other set of drama, and Tino was dealing with enough,
Yeah,
and,
I
like, I
know.
could almost see Tino's dad just jumping on there as soon as Avon gets on, like, the screen,
Yeah,
like,
and Tino is
I
going
mean,
on Vial Files next week.
okay, that'll be juicy.
So it's gonna
Like,
be a
people
good episode. I mean, like the thing about like Nick, I know I love that. I want to give you credit for like being you are literally the reason Nick and Katie's feud went as public as it did. And I don't know if anyone
I
even knew that,
know.
but like you literally were the girl that screen recorded Katie's TikTok live and said that Katie blocked Nick. And it took
I know.
Bachelor Nation into a whirlwind. Like I'm still shook from it.
Yes, it was quite I was not expecting it. I was, like, just it was really late, she went on live, I just went for it,
Have you
and the
heard from
next
either of
morning
them?
yeah, I talked to Katie a little bit, and she's
What
just
did
like,
she say?
it was right after, what's the one, that Joe and Natasha and Tia are on?
Clickbait?
Oh my god, Clickbait, thank you. It was right after Joe kinda went after her,
Oh
and she's
my
like, "I
god.
cannot believe that your video is causing all of this drama," and I was like, I know, like, I'm sorry for anything that's, negative towards you. That's not like what I want to do, And she was just like, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. I think it's funny. And she was like, I'm not even going to say anything because Bachelor Nation is speaking for me. That's what she said.
Oh, so people had her back.
Yes. It got really crazy. And it was like also the premiere week of Gabby and Rachel. And I think it like took over. Like people didn't even care about the premiere. They were more into this
Because
drama,
and first of all, anyone that feuds with Nick is just like it just always becomes iconic because Nick truly is that guy in Bachelor Nation
Yes.
who's never gotten out of it. And same with Caitlin Bristow, I would say is the top girl. Like they have never
Mhm.
left like the core of Bachelor Nation. So I think that combine that with Katie being so messy with her Q&As, like being the Bachelorette,
Mhm.
being the messiest Bachelorette of all time, owning being the messiest Bachelorette of all time, doing the switcheroo, like she became such a controversial, public,
Mhm.
interesting like figure. It was just like her versus Nick is just like grab me the popcorn.
Yes, it was a Super Bowl of Bachelor Nation. It was
It
great.
was. It literally
Um,
was. But
Katie's always been a favorite.
but back to what we were saying, Nick, Tino is
Mhm.
going on Nick's podcast. And I when I do recaps of Nick's podcast, it's always like a killer. Like if he has like a big guy, like Nate, I don't know, just like whenever he has like a big guy on it, like he gets the tea and I recap the tea and it's always beneficial.
I do the same. He's my favorite Bachelor podcast, like interviews to go to when like a figure like that is on there. I always get like Nate hate in the comments anytime I
Me
like
too. Me
people
too.
are really like, and they just always go after his relationship. And just for me personally, like it's not like she's underage. Like I don't know, she's an adult. They seem to be happy. Like leave them alone. That's kind of my
Oh, like
stance on it.
Nick and Natalie, his girlfriend?
They always yeah, my comments are just covered of, like, child bride and, like, all
Oh,
of this stuff,
wow.
and I'm just, like I try to, like, just not even comment back, but sometimes I'm just, like, they're happy. Just leave them alone. Like,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
seem really happy together. They like, I mean, I think that, they'll probably get engaged or something. My
they have to.
one of my friends, Allison, she's also a coworker with me at Shared News where I do entertainment and bachelor hosting. She actually is on the Vinyl
Yeah.
Files. She is one of the two girls who
No
is Nick's
way.
co-host. So it's so kind of funny because I talk to her
Amazing.
sometimes about like all the tea and everything.
Yeah, because I think they said on like the intro for the Nate Files was that he was like the nicest and like was very probably like the nicest guest they've ever had and was so kind to everybody. So I actually don't hate me, but I didn't watch Michelle's season. It was like the first time I hadn't
Oh,
watched a season in forever, but I was just going through some personal stuff and it was just kind
yeah.
of the last thing on my mind. But it's on Hulu, and I'm thinking once we have like a break, I might like
For the
rewatch it and like
holidays.
recap. Yeah, something like that.
You honestly
Um,
should, because I feel like I would love to if I had time to just like go back and watch like Sean and Catherine's season, or just like
mhm.
like a middle, like maybe a Paradise of like an earlier season, and just like enjoy it all over again.
Ugh, Paradise is the best show. I cannot wait.
One more
All
week.
right. I know. What do you think about Rachel and Avon? Are they gonna? Is this gonna turn into anything, or was it just
Well,
a
this was
like
so for the
production
show.
stunt?
This was so for the show. And I think Rachel just like needed that happy ending. I kind of like that they did that. Um, but I don't think it's gonna go everywhere. I mean, I feel like Avon is just like getting back out there again. You know what I mean? He's
Sure.
going out. Like, I don't think he's like wants to like a full commitment with Rachel right now. And I think they kind of just closed out things. I think they're better off as friends. I think
Yeah, yeah,
that
I can see that.
he posted that Instagram caption, like they had closure at AFR. I feel like they closed it out. And I have a crush on Avon. Okay, there, I said it.
Who doesn't? Yeah,
Who doesn't?
100%. Like, I obviously, it would be really cute. It was very Hannah Brown, Tyler Cameron moment that I absolutely loved and went crazy
Yeah.
for. But one thing I did notice is before they said he, when they're like, Jesse's like, someone wants to talk to you. And Rachel's just kind of, she had the look of death for a second. I think before she said
She
that
thought it was
Jesse
Tino's
said he,
dad.
oh, I was thinking she thought it was the other woman. Like
No.
Tino's, that's what I thought she thought. And I was like, I
Oh
could just see
my
in her eye. I was like, if you
god.
fucking do this to me.
Oh my god. No, they wouldn't do
That's
that
what
to
I read
her.
her face.
She's the Bachelorette. No, no. I thought that she thought it was Tino's dad because maybe he would like have an apology. But like I said, I was leaked that it was Avon, so I knew.
Gotcha.
But I really loved Avon this season. Like, I really just want to like talk about that for a second because I
Okay.
just felt like he checked every box for like everything. Like, he was so sweet. He was so kind. He had swag. Like, he had personality, but he was also humble. He had confidence. He had a great family dynamic that he opened up to us about, like his struggles. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was so much depth to him, but then his quiet confidence on top of that was just like so attractive. And like, I don't know how Rachel did not pick him.
Yeah, I love like at AFR, he had like the little scruff. Like I'm super into that. I was just like, keep growing it.
Yeah,
Like I'm
he's
feeling
so
it.
good looking too, where it's like, oh my gosh, like you're almost
So
like
good
too
looking.
pretty. So I mean, oh my god, I totally crushed on him all season. So now that the season's over, I'm gonna have to find a new crush on Paradise.
Yes, understandable. Michael A with the beard. Like I'm obviously into beards, but Michael A is so hot to me. I cannot wait to watch him. So that's
Okay.
who I'm
I don't know
excited
if I
for.
think like anyone's hot yet on Paradise. I have to like see when the show
Really.
starts. I need to like see the vibes. I have to like have at least a
Sure.
crush on someone, even if it's like a pretend crush, because that's just like the point of
Yeah,
these
they're all
shows,
gonna
you
have
know?
yeah, they're gonna have their shirts off. It's gonna be a good time.
Cool.
So let's talk about Gabby and Eric. One
Yeah.
thing people are talking about social media is they did talk about the texts, and the one thing
Hmm.
I was excited about when I heard Gabby had already known way beforehand, that was my main concern. So I was like, okay, I can get on board. But then I know Rachel Lindsay posted about,
Hmm.
they talked about the text, but they didn't talk about the blackface scandal, which is, so much more important to be
For
discussed versus
sure.
text messages of like some girl.
Both were
And
important. Both were important, and also his, father's passing was important too. There was a lot with Eric that was important. And I think that The Bachelor really tried to like hide this, blackface, this resurfaced yearbook photo. I think they really tried to brush over it. They had him, he did a statement last week, which I thought was genuine, but we wanted to kind of hear it from him. And I also wanted to hear about his dad. And, they had plenty of time. Gabby got a whole extra segment. Zach had 45 minutes. So
Zach had way too much time.
It's so frustrating that he didn't. And I think they're just trying to brush it under the rug.
I agree. And it also just shows like a pattern of them doing this. And so a lot of people are upset. I'm upset. And I think specifically because when he did his statement, he said, I will continue to make actions and stuff like that.
What is he doing to continue it? Like Rachel Kirkconnell took us on her journey. Like she did. Like even Stassi Schroeder, like maybe not as much, but like, she did hire someone and she opened up about it on the Tamron Hall show. Like she at least made an effort. Like Eric is really just going to glaze over it from what we see.
Yeah, so I'm curious, like, if it'll be talked about more, and all these podcasts are now coming out the week of the finale, and so I'm kind of curious I haven't had a chance to watch a lot of them, so excited to kind of see what more is talked about there, if anything.
What other podcasts do you listen to in Bachelor Nation?
Vile Files, I do. I love Off the Vine because I just love Caitlin Bristow. I think she does great. I do Chatty Broads every once in a while, but to be honest, I'm not a huge. I have a podcast.
Yeah.
I normally pick and choose. I'm not someone who chooses one and watches weekly. I see if a theme interests me or a guest interests me, and I kind of go for it.
I'll tell you, like, my taste is that, like, I love a good Vile Files, like, interview whenever there's a tell-all. I love a good Caitlin Bristow interview. Like I won't listen to them just because I don't have a lot of time to like listen to that many podcasts, but like I like those interviews, and I like the morning toasts for like, banter in the morning. I love Dave Neal. He's a YouTuber. I definitely like to listen to him a few times a week because it's kind of like quick tea. Here's what you need to know. And then I also really enjoy the She's All Batch girls. I listen to them every, couple weeks. I'll catch an episode here and there, and they do a great job.
I like how they have some like OG people, or not necessarily OG, but like older contestants, and kind of bringing them on and learning more and kind of getting the tea.
Yeah. I love listening to podcasts. Like those podcasts are like perfect for my car rides when I'm driving to Venice and I'm high. Like I'll put on one of those, or Clickbait even, or Bachelor Happy Hour, just to get those interviews so that I can like recap them later.
Sure. I love Chicks in the Office too.
I like them. I got to meet them a couple times when they were in LA, and I totally like dream of going on their podcast. So hopefully that happens soon.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely, like me and Amy, definitely want to go kind of that route of like morning toast, Chicks in the Office, talk. We love Bachelor, but we also want to open it up to pop culture and like different things like that. So that would be kind of our goal. But I love listening to them. They're so much fun. A
dynamic girl duo is everything for a podcast. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm biased, but I think we're pretty funny. So
yeah, you guys are so funny.
All right. What else about Gabby and Eric do you want to touch on? I just said I'm going to miss her, but
she'll be on dancing. Yeah, I mean, whatever is. Yeah, let's totally get into Zach. But whatever is just meant to be with Gabby and Eric. Like I'm kind of disappointed about like the texts and like everything, and like I don't know what's real and what's what I mean. Like I'm open to them letting me prove them wrong. Like I want to root for both of them. I'm sure they're good people. But you're right. Like we do kind of feel like we're not a part of it. Like I'd almost feel like they didn't really share their love with us. Like, and that kind of is like frustrating because like The Bachelor isn't a popularity show where it's just like, we just get to be obsessed with you. Like, I'm not just going to be obsessed with you because you're on The Bachelor anymore. Like, that's just not happening. Like, you need to like share with us and like give us a reason to be obsessed with you, not just because you like are the winning couple.
100% agree. And I think it's going to be such a giant shift to get into Zach, of like having someone like Gabby who's just so relatable and fun. And like I said, I don't have any bad feelings for Zach at all. Just for me personally, I just don't find him super entertaining. I think he's a little boring. I think even just that small snippet on AFR, I guess the big snippet, 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
He just like almost talked very robotically. Like I just don't feel attached to him at all. He's just another Jesse Palmer. And I swear to God, when Jesse's like, oh thank God, Jesse. Another Bachelor. I'm so glad.
I cannot with Jesse.
He drives me nuts. And so I think like it's like going to be a 2 Jesse season. And I always say, I'm not going to watch, but
I'm actually,
that's what everyone says.
No, but I've never said that before. I have never said that before in my life that I'm not going to watch. For real. I've been watching since Jake Pavelka's season. I will say I've probably missed a few episodes of like Peter's season and a few episodes of Hannah's. and maybe like a few episodes like back in the day a little bit, but like I've always watched like every episode, especially the last like 3 years. So the fact that I'm like I might not watch Zach's season. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I think that it's just too exhausting and Zach is not interesting, and it's just like maybe I'll watch it, but it's like I'll do way less coverage on it. Like there's no way you're getting me to make 10 TikToks a week about The Bachelor anymore. Like for Zach's season, I'll make 2 a week because it's just like there's so many more interesting things to talk about. There's so many more interesting shows. And I just don't think that The Bachelor deserves my promotion, or Zach deserves my promotion anymore with my platform now that it's growing, because, I just don't feel like they're letting me be involved. And then all this, producer manipulation and, fucked up shit that they're doing to these contestants is just like, it's a lot and it's exhausting to cover it.
They don't protect their leads anymore. Like it's rough. And yeah, Zach, I'm not excited about it at all. They better have some good cast. I mean, we met a couple of them last night, but I mean, I'm gonna need some.
I don't care about anyone's name right now. Like if I get back into it in January, then we'll talk. But I do not give a flying fuck about one of those girls. I don't care about Zach. I don't care about the season. I don't care about where it's filming. I don't care about who's left. I have zero involvement in Zach's season until it starts, as of now.
Period. Okay, Love is Blind after the altar. People were pissed. Were you?
Oh my God. I was so angry. I think I was like so over it because I wanted it a month ago. Like a month ago, it was like peak prime. And not only was like I over it, but like I know the cast was over it so much because they've, already had these updates on their relationship for months. They haven't been together. They've been in new relationships. They've been divorced, married. Like they've had to hide these relationships for so long. And that showed with the audience. So it just was a flop.
It really was. And I just don't understand. Like, it doesn't even make business sense for Netflix what was the point of holding it from us so long? And then also the way that they edited it, like, okay, we saw that Ayanna and Jarrett, we at least saw their problems, which I appreciated. They were super authentic.
They were the MVPs of the whole thing.
Yes. And Ayanna deserves better. Like, she should not be waiting out for her man 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, no.
He didn't actually, like, you know what? He didn't give us anything. Ayanna is the MVP of the show. Like, what did Jarrett do? Like, she was the one trying to work on the relationship. And then he set up them a fucking picnic on the floor. Who wants to sit on the fucking floor on the carpet in a living room? Like, get a fucking table.
No, I'm not moving back for a floor picnic. Like, so,
I mean. No.
I know.
Are you serious?
Yes. And so, but it showed us like, oh, things are getting better. They're moving back in. And then don't even get me started on Nick and Danielle. Like,
yeah,
there's only a couple scenarios that could have happened. They really could have been amazing at that time. And they really thought like they were in it for the long haul.
I think they were.
Something had to have happened, whether it's cheating, whether it's...
Ooh, I don't know.
No?
I don't think so. I've met them twice. I know Danielle and Nick, especially Danielle. We've talked plenty over the year.
I think she seems super cute.
She is fun. She is sweet. I definitely like her. I know she's genuine. I know that this show was a lot for her, like mentally.
I know for anybody.
It would, but for her, like specifically, it was like really hard. For her, it's like I've talked to a lot of reality stars and like Danielle had one of the hardest times, I think, out of everyone. So my heart really breaks for her. And Nick actually just shared that they are getting divorced today. Like he just put out a statement.
I saw that.
Which I think that I should just like read like a line for everyone who's listening.
Please do. And this is recorded on Wednesday the 21st.
Yeah, so just a couple days ago, but he basically said, I'm grateful for this experience, the learnings that came and those yet to come. I am heartbroken. My marriage ended. I know in my heart that I did the best I could and gave it everything I had. I'm optimistic for the future. So he really did give it his all because Nick is a diplomatic guy. Maybe he's a little full of shit sometimes, but I think that this was a very genuine like statement. And I know Danielle's going to put out a statement soon. She said she was going to share the other day.
Gotcha.
So maybe she'll have shared this by the time this podcast comes out. But I think I think they were just, I don't know. I literally don't know what happened because I thought
okay, because I was going to ask you that.
I haven't asked her. Like I said, I don't want to pry. It's a divorce. It's serious. Like, I don't want to ask her. So I have no idea. And I actually haven't asked anyone. And I talked to about half the cast. So, and I have like just in general, and like, I don't think when they'll share, they'll share.
Yeah. Your lives with the Love is Blind cast are wild.
Well,
like I was on for Shane and I was also on for
Shake.
Shake. Yes.
Well, I'm setting up more. It's kind of hard with the PR right now. Like it's like the show
I'm
just
sure.
ended. But I'm gonna try and set up one with like Natalie, or maybe Shane. Shake wants to do one with me, but I
I'm
just
sure he
like
does.
I can't like do another one with Shake. Like I love Shake. Like he's always been great to me. He's fun, but like I need to hear from the other cast. Like he wasn't even on the show. So I wanted to do one, but like they're so private right now because like they're all putting out statements slowly. So maybe I'll get one of them in like the next week or two. I think that Shane, I want to get Shane back because he needs a do-over because his was so bad.
It was rough, but you handled it so super well because there was like a kind of, I think he was upset about a certain comment or something that you did, and he
Yeah,
kind of was
he
spiraling
was.
on that one. I think it was almost was like an
Yeah,
emoji,
it
right?
was an
It wasn't
emoji.
even.
So I don't
Yeah,
say, like I said, I don't say anything bad about anyone, or like I try not to. And if I do, it's in good fun. So even though Shane was having so much backlash, like, I just recap the podcast, I recap the show. Like I don't try and make him look bad. I'm just narrating what's on TV. But there was just like, there's always hate in my comment section, right? And I don't respond to hate
of
in my
course.
comment. I don't like it. I don't engage. I read it. And sometimes I think the same thing, but I would never say it because I have a
Yeah, I
platform.
even delete it sometimes, depending.
I don't delete it. I think that it's no. I
You
think
don't.
I need no. There is so much drama in my comment section. Like you will have
Yeah.
the best time. And like honestly, I like
I
it that
need
way.
to dive in. I kind of
Just
reminds me of like
dive
on Mean
in.
Girls, you have Regina George, and then everyone just like exploding around
There
you.
is so much tea. Like I don't even read all my comments. I wish I could. I wish I could read them, but there's just too many now. I'm
Yes.
sorry that sounded so awful. But I think that Shane is a really nice guy. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, we went on some tangents, but I'm okay with it. I do kind of
Shane's
a hot
cool.
take.
What's your hot take?
I think Shane and Shayna were the most best and most entertaining part of the whole
Oh,
after
I
the
agree.
altar.
I agree. They were so fun. They were like
So
the
fun.
villains, but like in a good way. Like it's like they
Yes.
like because they teamed
And
up and it was just like they made it fun. I honestly think they were so good. You're right.
so good. And the thoughts about like the DMs and kind of what Natalie is saying, my thoughts is there are DMs, but they're both flirtatious, wild, fun people. I don't think anything was super serious.
It
Maybe something
wasn't.
like
No, it definitely wasn't, but I think it was enough for Natalie to get upset because Natalie and Shane are completely different people. They are so different. They are they're literally strangers. I don't even know how they had a connection because they come from two different worlds. They have different everything hobbies, morals, vibes, energy, work ethics. I don't even know. They're just like, they never made sense. So I
yeah,
think that they're both right in that it was innocent, but because you know what I mean? They have a playful friendship. They were on the show together. But I think Natalie she just wants, something different out of her man. So I don't think anyone was wrong. I think the issue is that they didn't confront it. I was so frustrated seeing Shayna leave the show leave the lake house without talking to Natalie. And Natalie and Shane didn't even film one scene together. Like they couldn't, like, come on. Like you're getting paid to do this reunion. I know the feelings are so hard. I know you guys you already got your 2 million followers, or they got so many followers from the show. So
oh, I'm
they don't have to be as, thirsty or desperate as like,
sure.
other people who are trying to get a show. So I get that they like have a lot going for them, but those conversations would have been perfect. How do you think it would have went down if they talked?
I don't know. So I think I agree that Natalie, I appreciate someone's boundaries and I respect that. And if something crossed a boundary, but I don't know, Shane and Natalie,
But how
I
do you
was
think it
hoping
would have went with Shayna and Natalie? Shouldn't they just have talked at the party?
100%. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they didn't. No one we wanted to interacted. So whether it was
Literally.
Shane, Shayna, and Natalie, even like I wanted, and yeah, Shake's a little problematic, and
Well,
we
they
love.
wouldn't film with Shake. None of the cast would film with Shake. Like maybe a couple people would, but they literally said we're not doing it if Shake's going. Like Shake has really pissed a lot of them off, and he is, trolled them on social media, and he's crossed a line to a lot of them, and like I think a lot of them just really don't fuck with him.
Yeah, but I just think also it's important to have characters. I guess I know they're
No, it
real
is.
people, but
It
it's
is.
important to have that because it was just such a vanilla. Like it was just a waste of a few hours of my life. Like I just feel like we didn't know anything. It was just awkward to watch, especially the Danielle and Nick parts. and
I liked them on
happened.
the show, but you're right. But like, that's why
I just was cringing.
I like them just maybe because I've met them a couple times, but I was like, I'm still confused about this divorce because that's kind of the vibe I was getting, that they were really happy together.
Yeah, and to be clear, I like them and their interaction. I love their relationship. What was cringe to me was knowing what their
Yeah,
future was,
that's
which is
why
a
this
divorce.
should
That
have
was the
aired.
cringe.
Like, that's why this should have aired 3 months ago or 4 months ago. Like, the fact that Kyle even said, "Oh, I have a girlfriend now. I'm in a new relationship," and then Jesse and Sal were like, "Oh, we had to hide this relationship for almost a year because whatever." And you want to know the motherfucking tea?
Please.
They have already filmed up to season 5 of Love Is Blind. Like, season 3 is coming out October 19th, and they literally filmed seasons 4 and 5 already.
So people are gonna have to people are gonna have to hold back for a very long time, and then I hope they learn that after the altar just needs to happen so much quicker.
Like, make it 2 months after. And I think what Netflix does is when they roll out episodes so quickly, it's great for the hype, like Selling Sunset. But then they make us wait like a whole year. And I'm like, you can't make us wait a year when the show's only on for all the episodes drop in 1 to 3 weeks. Like, you need to do that twice a year so it's more consistent. And I think if they have extra seasons, maybe they can listen to this and learn and take some feedback in, instead of being mad that maybe that I just said that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like these networks get so mad when we like spoil some stuff, and I don't know if that's a spoiler saying they've already filmed from season 5. I'm not sure.
No.
But I hope that if anyone
not
from
that I care about.
Yeah, but I hope that if anyone from Netflix is listening to this, just like, I'm speaking for the fans, just if you want us to be invested, give this shit sooner, because I now don't even know if I want to watch season 3, because they literally just lost so many viewers and fan base because they just showed that they don't care about their audience or their cast. Think about what happened with their cast having to hide their true lives and their relationships for a year. Like, that's not fair to anyone on the show.
No, and it's so stupid. I know, like, specifically Kyle and Deepti, like, they've been seen together since, they had the reunion moment, and then they've been seen together, but they, like, would never say, like, "Oh, wait for after the altar."
Because they're not
Wait for after
allowed.
the
They
altar.
literally weren't allowed. And like, I know that they were dating. I knew that. And I never even said anything. Because I didn't know the extent of it, but I definitely knew about it. I definitely had tea about it. I know that they were spending time together in LA for a little bit. And
Do you
I know
know
that
why they broke up?
I think I know. I don't even know how serious they were when they were spending time together. Like I said, I mean, that's really all I know. I respect them enough to not ask,
Sure.
But from what I understand, they were definitely a thing at one point, like whether it was official or they were just, I don't know the details, but they definitely had a vibe.
Yeah. What did you think about my favorite part about the whole after the finale? We've been like definitely going for it of why we didn't like it. But at the very end, the post-credit scene, and I just left a little bit of the shit because we had no drama, so I was just yearning.
Wait, what was it? I actually, oh my God, I think I turned it off because I was so over it. And I was like, I need to make a recap.
They showed a bunch of like the interviews of saying went to each person and saying, "I've never actually seen the messages that Natalie's
Oh,
talking
I did see
about."
that. I did see that.
Yeah, and so they were like kind of insinuating that they didn't exist, and I was like, the shade, like, and then both Shane and Shayna reposted that scene.
So I think the reason why it flopped, though, and then we'll say positive things, is I think that they all just went through so much backlash that they just like didn't want to go through it again. I think that they didn't want it to be too messy, because the first thing was so fucking messy and the reunion was so messy. I think they were just so over it, and they just wanted to take a mature route and like try and respect each other and not like air out all their dirty laundry. But season 1 was so fucking good too, after the altar, because they had Francesca show up. Yes. I'm like, where the fuck was Francesca?
Yes, that's what they needed. That's what they needed.
Francesca.
Do you have any theories on why you think season 1 Love Is Blind, like the couple stayed together, versus Love Is Blind season 2, or do you think it's just a coincidence?
I think it's in the title. I think they were blind to the show. It was an experiment, and I think the second season knew what they were getting into. Everyone just knew what they were getting into, and producers knew what they were getting into. So it's not all the contestants. You know what I mean? It's just like,
so it's not that same magic.
It's the first season of a lot of these experiments are magic. And I'm really curious what's going to happen with the ultimatum, because I know they're going to be coming back. They're going to be coming back for season 2. I'm friends with a couple of the girls on the show, so I know it's going to be a queer season. I don't really know any spoilers. I haven't asked, but I think it's going to be really good. with the queer season, and I think it's going to come back this year. I wouldn't be surprised if it came back in a couple months.
Okay, can't wait. I loved The Ultimatum. That was like anything messy, I'm down. Netflix has been done pretty. Did you ever end up watching the sibling one where you bring your
Dated and Related?
I never watched it, but I was curious.
No, I never watched it.
I just couldn't put another one on my plate.
Well, I would have because I'm like a fucking workaholic, but it happened during the Labor Day weekend. So I was away, so I didn't have time. And then by the time I got home, no one cared about it. So I was like, I'm not going to waste my time watching it if I can't even get views off of recaps. So then I was just like, that one goes in the trash.
Totally. Any last thoughts on After the Altar?
Well, I'm just like, maybe some of the statements will come out by Friday, but I am looking forward to seeing Danielle's statement. I guess Kyle and Deepti already did theirs. Shane is married. She doesn't have anything to say. I think we're just waiting on Danielle. I think she's the last one.
I just want to know what happened so bad. I know it's none of my business, but it doesn't mean I don't want to know.
But I think that can give us some clarity. I mean, I think just what we have a little bit of clarity in Nick's statement, which I read earlier, that like he tried his best. Like at least that's something. He's heartbroken and he tried his best. Danielle hasn't been able to kind of say it for whatever reason. Maybe she's waiting. She's not ready. Maybe she never will. I don't know. I mean, she said she was going to, but you still never know. But I'm just so curious.
Maybe she was the dumpy and Nick was the dumper. So maybe it's harder for her.
I'm pretty sure that is the case, maybe, because I think people found that out, like saying that she was the one that filed. Because that's how we found out about their divorce. It's not like they didn't announce it. Jared and Ayana announced it, but fans found that they actually filed papers because it's public knowledge.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Did you know that?
Well, I did not know that. No.
Yeah, their divorce got leaked. Me neither,
Gotcha.
but someone else did. It was a fan, an outlet, whoever. Like that.
Thank God for those people.
It's a public court record when you file for divorce. So that's how people found out about it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I cannot wait for the next season. Even though I could say I'm not going to watch whether The Bachelor or Love is Blind After the Altar, I'm still going to watch everything. But
yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I had just so much fun talking with you and gossiping, and it's been so much fun.
Yes.
I want to talk about where we can follow you, see you. Before that, I have one last question.
Okay.
It's kind of personal for me. Like, any advice for being in kind of your space?
Yeah, I think that you have to be unique. You have to be hardworking. You have to kind of have that like it factor that just like really makes you stand out from anyone else. And I really do feel like you have that. I think you have like a quirky personality to yourself. And like, we talked about like how fucking iconic it was that you had that Katie and Nick thing. And I feel like you have a lot of like hidden gems. So I think you just kind of need to like keep going and just like stay true to yourself. And I think that you'll probably find like a pretty awesome community of like followers that really enjoy listening to you that will stay with you no matter what.
That's so nice. Thank you. And I will take that to heart because I need all the help I can get. It's a jungle out there on TikTok.
Yeah. And don't even think about like, don't measure your success on TikTok. Measure it what's making you the happiest and like how that's going.
I love that.
So like if it's your podcast, if it's Instagram, TikTok, if it's your husband, any of your other jobs, just like think about what makes you the happiest and what you're most passionate about. And that's what matters.
I love it. I'll have this on a clip anytime I'm down. I'll be like, well, Zachary Reality thinks I'm awesome.
Exactly.
Tell me everything you're doing, everything we can look forward to, where to find you. I need to know it all.
Yeah, so Zachary Reality on all platforms. I'm really like pumping out a lot of content on TikTok and Instagram. It's just a lot of reality TV spark notes, celebrity spark notes. I'm going to be expanding my content. I really make a lot of short videos. Like I dabble in the podcast space. I dabble in, interviews, whether I'm interviewing people or I'm on other people's podcasts or shows, some YouTube videos. But like short form content is what I'm focused on right now. And I mean, I have a lot coming up. Like there's a lot of fun content to be made and events to go to, and just really focusing on bringing Zachary Reality, just to bigger places, I don't know.
Yes. And I have full confidence you will. Me and Amy are fans for life, and you'll have to meet her one day. You'll have to come back on the pod.
I'm so coming back
together.
I am totally coming back. That was my first interview.
That's not my sister. You
did so good. I think it's awesome that we knew each other from Bachelor Live on Stage.
It makes me feel a little better. Yeah, for sure.
And
well, yeah,
I needed to get my thoughts out about these shows. So I'm glad I was able to do that with you.
Good. I love it too. All right. Well, thank you guys, and we will be back next week. Okay, I'm still fangirling over Zachary Reality, but that is the end of our episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm still figuring out next week's podcast guest co-host, but I will let you know on our socials as soon as we do. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest at Stop Wearing My Clothes Pod, and be sure to use hashtag Stop Wearing My Clothes Pod or tag us in anything you want. I look at everything. Email us at stopwearingmyclothespodcast@gmail.com for any hot takes or Bachelor news. Say hi, whatever. We love hearing from you guys. And peace out, Seacrest.